I'm getting right to it today, guys. I'm grabbing the Studio Makeup On The Go palette. It is the Warm Up palette. I'm using that light brown shade and placing it all over in my upper crease area as my transition shade. Next, I'm going to grab my IBY Beauty Three's Company eyeshadow palette. I'm grabbing that brown right there, and I'm going to place that directly into my crease on top of that brown that I applied for my transition shade. It's just going to add a little bit more dimension because it is slightly darker. And then I'm going to grab this darker brown shade from that Studio Makeup palette, placing it directly into the crease and then down a little bit on the outer and inner corner of my lid, leaving the center blank. And then I'll grab that same brush I used for my transition shade just to soften up the edges. Then I'm going to get a flat brush a little bit damp with fixing spray, and I'm going to grab that gold shimmery shade and place it right in the center just to make it pop. And then I'm going to grab a little bit of that black there, just a tiny bit, and add it to the inner and the outer corner to give it that halo eye effect. And then I'm going to come back in with all my brushes again just to soften up those edges and create a nicer blend. Then I'm going to grab this 100% pure black eyeliner pencil, place that in my tight line, and then I'm going to just apply some mascara, and then of course my falsies. Whew, that was a mouthful. Now I'm going to take this Temptu Liquid Glow that came in Boxycharm this month, and I'm going to drop a few drops of that all over my face and blend it into my skin with a damp beauty blender. I'm placing this on my face before I put my foundation on because I want to have that luminous look, but because my skin is so oily, I can't use a luminous foundation or I'm just going to be a greasy mess. So this is kind of my technique to give more of a luminous glow without having to use a luminous foundation. Now I'm using a combination of my L'Oreal Infallible Pro Matte Foundation and my Milani 2-in-1 foundation. I will have the shades linked down below so you guys will know. And then of course blend that all in with my damp beauty blender as well. Now I'm going to take a combination of my Tarte Shape Tape and my Maybelline Master Conceal. They're both in Fair. And the reason why I like to use both of these is because I've discovered that my Tarte concealer tends to make me crease in my under eye area, but the Master Conceal does not do that. So I place the Master Conceal right under my eyes and the Tarte kind of everywhere else where I want to highlight, and I really like this combination right now. And then of course I'm going to blend that all out with my damp beauty blender. Now I'm going to take this IT Cosmetics, my Sculpted face contouring palette. I'm using that white shade just to set all the areas of my face where I placed concealer. Using that same contour palette, I'm going to grab that warm brown and just warm up my face, use it kind of as a bronzer because all that concealer made me look pretty pale. Then I'm going to come back in with that palette again and grab a little bit of that more ashy cool tone brown and use that to contour, placing it right on my cheekbones, and yeah, just add a little bit more dimension. Now I'm going to grab this City Color Shimmer Blush. It's so pretty, it just adds a little bit more of a shimmer, but it's also very pigmented, as you can see. So I need to come back in with that same fluffy brush that I used for setting my concealer. And then for the under eyes, I'm just going to repeat pretty much the same process that I did in my crease, except for I'm going to use a more small, dense, fluffy brush to apply the transition shades that I used on top, and then come back in with a flat, more dense brush to apply the darkest brown shade and the black shade, just to add a little bit more dimension, help it be more bold and smoky and just blend better. Then I'll come back in with another fluffy brush just to soften up those edges as well. All right, now it's time for my favorite part. I'm grabbing a little bit of that highlighting shade from the IT Cosmetics contouring palette, placing that in the inner corners of my eyes, on my brow bone, and then I'm going to grab this Temptu Liquid Glow again and use a damp beauty sponge just to dab it on my cheekbones, my temples, a little bit on my forehead, my chin. I just wanted to make this look even more luminous. I'm going for a really bronzy, golden, shimmery summer look here, so the more shimmer the better, right? I'm using this Cougar powder in the shade Diamond Kiss. It's kind of a gold highlight. It's beautiful, very pigmented as you can see, but it just adds even more shimmer. I feel like it was the perfect touch to this look. And then I'm going to grab a little bit more of that It Cosmetics highlighting powder from the palette with a pencil brush and just put a little bit of that on the tip of my nose and the bridge of my nose as well. And for lips, I'm going to use my Essence lip liner. I believe it's called In the Nude. I'll have a list of all the products down below just in case I'm wrong, but I'm going to line my lips with this lip liner and also fill them in entirely. Because my lips are so dry, I decided not to go in with a matte lipstick. I know, so weird for me, but instead I'm going over the top of my lips with this Nivea lip gloss just for more hydration since my lips are chapped, and then a little bit of the It Cosmetics highlighter just right in the center of my lips just to make them look more full and more shimmery. And then that is it for this look, you guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel before you leave. And yeah, I will see you guys in my next video. Love ya. Bye.